AI runs on communication. That's a big thing itself. It's like if AI doesn't have the information, if it doesn't know who is supposed to be the expert in that seat or the process of actually how to do it, I mean, that's all forms of communication. The cultural aspect of it, it's like we want to be able to have that freedom to buy that time back that AI allows us to do. It's a huge thing for us. We've all got family, and it's like we've been working, we've been grinding, as some people would call it, and you kind of want to get out of that lifestyle, that day-to-day, the repetitive tasks, the things that you don't necessarily love. AI gives us that ability to be able to have that time back.
Hey there, welcome back to the Freedom Experience. I'm your host, John Moncrief. Today's guest is Jeff McPherson. He's a tech founder, a marketing pioneer, and the co-founder of XGen AI. Now, if you've ever heard of the first ever Instagram DM chatbot, that was Jeff. It supported over 500 million followers and facilitated, I think, nearly 1 billion messages. He's collaborated with names like Tony Robbins, with Dean Graziosi, and with the Nelk Boys. Oh, and he launched an NFT project that did 2.5 million in the first 14 days with zero ad spend. But that's not why I got Jeff on the show. I brought Jeff on to talk about the real reason most business owners feel stuck right now, which is this AI overwhelm. You know, we know it's coming, we know it matters, but most of us just don't know where to begin. So in this conversation, Jeff breaks it down with practical advice on where to start, what to ignore, and how to buy back your time while increasing your business value. You'll hear why your AI intern needs a training manual, how to build your own AI cloud, and the one seat that you need to add to your leadership team fast. So with that, let's dive in with Jeff. Hey Jeff, welcome to the show. Fantastic to have you on today. Really excited to just dig into this challenge that we're all facing, which is AI at the moment, and there's a bit of confusion in that. So really excited to have you on the show today.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
So just on that, I thought I'd kind of frame it up a little bit. I think I work with business owners every day, and a lot of them are like, what do we do? How do we approach AI? What's the right first step? So I'm thinking to kind of go through some of that with you as we have our conversation today and try and answer some of those questions for them.
Yep.
But I thought maybe a really good starting point is tell us a little bit about you guys and what the mission that you guys are on in terms of what you're doing right now.
What we're trying to do is, we want everybody to be able to utilize AI in their business. We really do. So we help businesses learn, adopt, and leverage AI. That's what we like to say, not use AI, leverage AI. Our goal is to help businesses increase profit, not just revenue, because if we can help you be more efficient or more effective in your business, that can help you save money. But it's like that can also help drive revenue as well, which is the profit center, which is where your business becomes more valuable. And that's what everybody wants. As well as that, it's like the mission to where in business owners itself, it's like it's a long journey. It can be a lonely journey. It's like we've lost friendships, family, whatever it may be along the way to build the businesses that we have. So AI gives us the ability to get that freedom back, even if it's an hour a week. It's like that's a huge thing that we have part of our core values, because it's something that we focus on all the time as well. So it's like, in terms of the business, it's like we just want as many people to be able to utilize AI and to be able to make money from AI as well, because there's just so much amazing things out there. And when you adopt it and leverage it properly, it's like the true unlock of, I think, all of our creative genius comes out in different ways. And I think that's what's really cool and very powerful what AI can do for us.
Yeah, so I've got to take you back to that point you made on core values. Is there a particular core value that you've got that actually ties into what you're talking about at the moment?
AI runs on communication. That's a big thing itself. It's like if AI doesn't have the information, if it doesn't know who is supposed to be the expert in that seat or the process of actually how to do it. I mean, that's all forms of communication. That's a big one itself. The cultural aspect of it. It's like we want to be able to have that freedom. Again, that's that big thing that we really want to focus on. For it's not that
as
we don't
entrepreneurs,
as entrepreneurs, as families, as friends. It's like to buy that time back that AI allows us to do. It's a huge thing for us because again, we've all got family, and it's like we've been working, we've been grinding, as some people would call it, and you kind of want to get out of that lifestyle, that day to day, the repetitive tasks, the things that you don't necessarily love, AI gives us that ability to be able to have that time back.
So, I mean, really, when we think about what you're saying, there's quite profound. As business owners and entrepreneurs, and even the name of this podcast is about freedom and having the freedom to do things that you want to do with your life. And a lot of us business owners find that we get caught up and we land up sort of in this jail or in the business. I'm often reminded of like Little Shop of Horrors and that feed me Seymour, it can eat you alive.
Yep.
And what you're saying, and I think goes back to kind of buying back your time, this is actually an opportunity for business owners to buy back their time and to find some of that freedom that they were looking for, the whole reason they went into entrepreneurship, right?
Yeah, while not suffering the business becoming more valuable at the same time.
Yeah, at the same time.
Because there's the aspect of buying back your time, but then your business not growing. It's like we want to be able to accomplish both. That's our goal for business owners. And for the other aspect of it, and this is like long-term vision, people are worried that there's opportunities where they're going to lose their job, or like, what am I going to do in AI? I don't understand AI. So it's like we're building very user-friendly technologies and trainings in the education aspect, so somebody can come through and become an AI educator, is what we call them, because the technologies are progressing so fast. And all these big companies like the OpenAIs, the Googles, like these big tech companies are building the ability that the technologies will set them up itself. Unfortunately, the education side is going to take longer for the markets to adapt it. So it's like if you could work with the business and you could just educate them on how AI actually works and let the technologies do the work for them, there's always going to be a seat in a business for somebody to be an AI advisor, an AI educator, a chief AI officer. And that's where we want to position ourselves, is the ability to help people be chief AI officers at scale.
Okay. What you're suggesting there is that if we think about many of the business coaching and growth systems, whether they're EOS or Metronomics or any of those kind of systems, we talk about having the right people in the right seats.
Yep.
The way you folks are looking at it is that we actually need somebody who's taking accountability for the AI role in an organization.
Correct. So it's like if we can position ourselves on the organization and the accountability chart, our business, and then let's say you were the educator within that responsibility itself. It's like you work with the teams directly. You're the communication source, you're the educator, but we have the ability to keep up with the technologies, to make sure that you're provided with the information, provided with the stuff that actually matters. Because the amount of people, we use AI to keep up with AI, and we can't even keep up with AI. Like, that's how fast it's moving. But if I can give you the exact information that moves the needle right now for a business, as well as give you the exact technology, so you don't have to go out onto Facebook and see these gurus teaching something that doesn't actually work. It's like, then you have the ability to work with more businesses with doing less.
I mean, are you looking at this as a kind of fractional role, working with companies, that you're almost the fractional AIC sort of level on the leadership team?
Yes. So it's like where our business model comes in, it's like we work directly with like coaches or integrators or educators. So again, I'm going to use you as an example. It's like you would be that person on the seat. You would be that person. Okay. And it's like our ecosystem, our brand, our technologies would be something that you would leverage within that seat. Because we can only work with so many people. We can only work with so many businesses because the education is so important. Because there's three main problems in AI. Does AI know about your business? That's the biggest thing. If you and your whole team go to ChatGPT, let's say, and ask it, tell me about my product or service, the likelihood of it having different answers for everybody is extremely high. That's step one. Does AI know about your mission, your vision, your values, like your product service, like this core information that it's built on, the foundation of your business? If it's not trained on that stuff, it doesn't really matter. Then it goes into, now you have AI trained in this ecosystem. What are the tools and technologies should I use? There's millions of them. I don't really know. This is what most people run into. They see it's like there's their sales caller here, content creation here. There's all these tools that are overwhelmed. There really is. Now you've got your AI trained on your most important information. You have an idea of what tools you should use, but now you need to get your team to adopt it. You're breaking habits. You're breaking habits within your organization. If some people think that they're going to be replaced, which we never say, it's like, we're here to enhance your team, not replace them. we say raise the floor, not the ceiling. And that's where we can get profit from. That's when you have the ability to truly leverage it. When you can get everybody in your organization to adopt it and adopt it properly, when it's trained on the right information, your business will grow, and you don't need a ton of shiny objects and third-party tools.
So there were three key things there. One, make sure that we're training with the AI that we're using on our core values, on our sort of purpose, all of those good things. Make sure that AI is trained.
Yep.
Then make sure that there's adoption, that people understand how to use AI and how to adopt it effectively in the business. And then the third one, I didn't write down.
So there's the tools and technologies aspect.
There's just so many of them, right?
There's so many of them. And we explain it's like AI is an operating layer to your business. It's not a tool. It's a technology. So it's like, it's one of those things, like if you have everything trained properly, it's like in like your own database, let's call it, just to kind of put a technical word out there. It's like all you need to use is these LLMs that are out there. So you can plug in the OpenAIs, you can plug in the Geminis, you can plug in the Anthropics, and it moves the business on its own. Because most of the third-party tools, like AI sales callers, like these sorts of things, content creators, like there's so many different tools out there that are actually running on these LLMs. So it's like, and what these tools, what you're doing on each one of these tools, so you got 10 different tools across your company. Each one of them, you have to train them on your business information separately. So it's
maybe
not
just for the audience, I'm thinking that LLM is an abbreviation, just in case, maybe to give them a quick.
LLM is a large language model. So ChatGPT is essentially a large language model. Higher up, OpenAI is the large language model, and you've got other ones like Gemini and Anthropic. These are LLMs that essentially run the technologies of what artificial intelligence is.
Yeah, good, great.
Now I forgot where I was.
Sorry about this. We were talking about LLMs and plugging in the different bits and pieces. So we've got content ones, and we've got
so
all those different pieces we can plug in.
10 people in your organization, they've got 10 different tools, let's say.
Yeah.
Each of them are actually what they call AI wrappers. So they actually use these LLMs that you were going to use anyways to be able to run their service. That's what they do. And when you use these tools, guess what you train it on? Your business information.
Yeah.
The stuff that you should be training in a centralized area. We call them AI clouds. So if you look at it, if you have an iPhone, you've got your iPhone, your MacBook, and your iPad, you have iCloud, and they connect all the information to one source. So we use the AI cloud as the kind of the paint a picture for people.
Got it.
Because that's what you want to do. Then from there, it's like everybody's using it. It's a different tool than you're used to. It's like it's clunky. I don't know how to use it. It's another interface, all this stuff. It's like, well, I don't really understand how to use it. And it's like, people don't get the output that they want, they typically stop using it because they just assume that, well, I've asked it to write me a proposal for my business and it's just going to spit it out perfectly.
And it spits out a whole lot of that.
And it spits out a whole bunch of nonsense because AI is like an intern at best when you first get it. It's not here to replace your job. And it's definitely not here to be a role that's never been in your business before. So it's, for example, we have people that come to us all the time because they've seen AI sales callers on the market doing AI sales caller things. We ask, was like, have you ever had a human doing outreach in your business before? No. It's like, well, you can't set it up. Because you need to have somebody who is the expert in that seat to be able to set up.
You need that playbook, right? Like
you need the processes. You need the processes, the information. Like what is it talking on? How does it objection handle? Like how does it do all these things a human's going to do? If your business doesn't have that, then you can't train AI to do the same thing. Because you're
essentially... it's going to come in as an intern. You need to train it up. It's like you bring in your SD intern level, train them up, give them the playbook. But if you're thinking that AI is going to come in and be a silver bullet to solve all those problems,
you'll lose every time.
And you're right. The marketing machine that's behind all of these systems. I think you talked somewhere. I heard you talk about your partner doing a review of a tool a day, perhaps. I'm not sure.
So my business partner, Matt Farmer AI, so he reviews new tools and technologies almost every single day. He's been doing it for almost 2 years now. I give him a whole bunch of credit on how he keeps up with it. And this is what I mean. So it's like he's reviewing these tools. So we test these tools and we're really good. We have good relationships with these tools. There's a lot of them that are great and they can help in specific use cases for different levels of business. But every single one that he speaks about has to be trained on one thing, is your business information. So if you actually collect the relevant business information and you train your own AI first, and then you start like an operating layer, just again, like your iPhone, it's got an operating system. So this is what you're doing. So everybody's got their own custom AI. Then you start looking to plug in the tools to it like it's an app. And that's how you start scaling across your whole business and not just focusing on one thing. And you don't need to do that much. You can use tools like ChatGPT if you set it up properly. But most businesses don't, because they don't have a centralized database with the information that's relevant.
So, I mean, just before we started, we were talking about some business owners it's the sort of deer in the headlights scenario. Like, we know we've got to do something with this, where we kind of see that it's going to be transformational, industrial revolution, internet, now we're in AI. What's some advice to those folks who just kind of don't know what to do right now? Where should they start thinking about this, and what should they start? Where should they start?
So we follow a couple frameworks. We have like our AI value journey is what we call it. And it's like, have you ever heard of value mapping?
Yeah.
So it's very similar. We just call it value journey because it's the journey that we're taking them on. Along this way is like you've got a funnel. So when a customer sees your content or an email, whatever it may be for the first time, they have to go through a whole bunch of steps to get to the sale, whatever that may be. It could be a product, it could be e-commerce, it could be a service, doesn't really matter. There's still a sale there. Once they close, they still have to go through a whole bunch of steps to be able to deliver, to be able to receive that value. It could be you have to ship it, you have to do a class. There's a whole bunch of things they still haven't got the value yet. Once they deliver the value, how do they continue to do it? So it's like it actually looks like a DNA strand. So your business has some DNA and you have to take them through that. But along this value journey, each step along the way, whether it's building a website, writing an email, booking a call, all these things, somebody in your business was responsible for setting up. Every single business. Somebody was in whether it's an automation, doesn't really matter. Somebody was responsible for setting it up. So if you look at your tasks day to day, yourself, myself, it's like, and you start asking ChatGPT I need to do this. Like, I need you, like you're asking it to help you with the task. It will either have the information about how it can help you with that task or not help you with that task. And we always suggest businesses start with just like basic text. Just go and ask basically ChatGPT, can you help me with this task? Because what you need to do is you need to build the repetitions of it as like, can we turn this into something that we need to do multiple times? So for an example, for us, like we use AI for proposals. So in the beginning, proposals are a pain in the butt. They really are. Yeah. It's like you got to have the call, and then you got to take notes, and then you got to do all these things, and you got to write it, and you got to format it, all this fun stuff that comes with it. Quality assurance. So it's like in the beginning, yes, you need to do that because you're hiring an intern with AI. Then once you set, correct, now we're in the training process. So it's like once we get to a point, it's like we're really happy with this proposal, or like it converts the first time. Like somebody gives you money for that work. Great. You take that. It's like now you've got a template or a reference point where it's like you can use that over and over. So it's like you could say, take transcription, put it into AI, reference proposal template, give me new proposal. The more you do that and the more references that you give it, the smarter it will get. So it's like then it will get to a point where it's like all you have to do is upload the transcription over and over, and then it'll just start spitting out more and more proposals. But at the end of the day, it's like you should still review the proposal at the end and make sure that the quality assurance is there. And this is like, can you put out more proposals? Yes. But we still suggest that a human is there for the 5-10% of the time to do the quality assurance. So it's like if you look at your day-to-day tasks and you just ask AI to help you with that task, it's going to ask you for the information. So either have that information or you don't. If you have that information, great, continue to the next step. If it seems complicated, well, it's like maybe AI and the technologies aren't at the point where it can really help you. It's like, are you going to spend more time and resources on setting it up, or just move to like the next task? So when we work with businesses, we help them understand what task AI can truly help you with right now. And the biggest thing for us is what not to focus on. Because with AI, you can do anything. You really can.
And there's that shiny object syndrome that you were talking about earlier. Like, hey, I can go and bring these over here and do some sales kind of agent stuff.
Correct.
Get that over and then do this. And I bet you get that all the time.
All the time. So our goal is actually to help businesses understand what not to focus on, because if you focus on the foundation of your business, like I was mentioning in the beginning, it's like the technologies will progress and it will slowly start doing more and more things. But if you don't have your foundation set, then when these technologies progress, you're going to be behind. You're going to have to start new. And I only know this because one of my first businesses, I built a chatbot for Instagram direct messaging, had 1 million followers on the platform. I mean, over 1 billion messages sent, 500 million followers on the platform, and Facebook shut me down. I lost everything overnight. But if I had everything in a centralized spot, just like building your own AI cloud as a business, you can adapt and adjust. But nobody's building that. They're building to tools. They're not building to their own information.
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like one of the things you've got to do is get your own information right to start with. Almost.
Correct.
Like if you're not quite ready to jump in here, one of those fundamental things that we're supposed to do as business owners anyway is kind of get our information right. What would we do if we were onboarding a new intern even? What are the processes they got to follow? Get it all documented, get it done. Maybe even get ChatGPT to help you with some of that through the process. So it's starting to learn. Get your core values, get your core purpose and all that sorted out. Get your one-page plan sorted out. Where are we going in the next few years? And perhaps interact with ChatGPT along the way so it starts to learn about your business and leverage it to do that. Is
correct. And like that's a great place to start, because there's even tools that can be like databases. They're like Airtable's one. I think there's tools out there that you can start plugging these. The thing is, as your business grows, it doesn't have the data optimization side, and that's when you need to look into working a little bit more custom to your infrastructure itself. If your organization is really big, like you've got 10 plus employees, the ChatGPT teams is going to start limiting yourself. So again, these are where people are running into issues, because the market and the gurus are saying one thing, but what's actually possible is another.
Okay. And that point about ChatGPT limiting teams, that's when we're working with the sort of shared team edition and everybody's starting to plug a bit of their knowledge into it.
Correct.
But it will start becoming limited as
limited, like different integrations, automations, like all of these different things start becoming a little bit more limited with your basic view. It's like, but I don't want to get too technical, but you can move up in levels. You can do all these things, but once you move up in levels, now you need new resources in your team. Who's responsible for it? It's like, you do need you need somebody who understands what that level is. And most businesses don't have that person on their team. They really don't.
Which is going back to the point you made earlier, which we need to have that AI kind of person seat at the table.
Correct.
When you're thinking about building out your team now, think about having somebody who's in that seat and is accountable.
Correct. And this is where we've positioned ourselves. We help businesses build that AI cloud without worrying about these third-party tools. So we help them build that AI cloud that they can scale past the tools and the technologies while allowing their team to adopt it using a ChatGPT-like interface.
Okay. Before we started, we were talking about the types of business that are gravitating toward you. And you made a really interesting comment, I think, that it's primarily businesses with good teams or strong leadership teams or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Maybe just elaborate a little bit on that.
The businesses so it's funny enough, like let's say, because you mentioned it, like the Metronomics group and the EOS group, the coaches who, like the business owners, like let's just say like you've got some businesses that you work with, the other Metronomic coaches do, EOS, same thing. What's the niche? Like everybody works with somebody different. It's more the mindset is what we found.
I love that.
If people are more willing, because with AI, as fast as it's moving, you've got to be as patient as possible. It gets super weird concept, but you have to be willing to take one step back, because you have to build your foundation so you can take 10 steps forward. So it's more of a mindset, which it's hard to define, because you can have a niche of, let's say, home service or consultants or marketing agencies, and 2 people have the right mindset and 8 not. But the businesses could be exactly the same on paper. That's where we're seeing adoption issues within the market.
Okay. So if there's folks on that team who are kind of closed, who have that finite mindset, that's where you're seeing them. There's a ceiling for those businesses, whereas the businesses with that infinite mindset are more likely to be, hey, let's get somebody on the team who understands this and let's build this into our strategy.
Yeah, there's 2 mindsets that always stop people and typically have them fall behind. One, they fear it. They fear the adoption, which is completely reasonable. It's just like because they see horror stories. It's like everybody's saying it's going to replace you. It's like, no, it's not right now. It really isn't. And that's why we say we're here to enhance your team, not replace them, because they're the ones who are in the seats within the business. So they have to make sure the quality assurance is still there. They may be able to do, they still have to review. And sure, there's going to be some things in times where it's going to be able to do some more tasks automated, but it's like, that doesn't mean that person is going to be replaced. Let's say you have an AI, like you have somebody who's doing sales calling again. Great. You still want somebody there. So you could just add more sales calling and your business just continues to grow.
Yeah.
Like your business just continues to grow. So it's like that, then that's where like the scalability comes together, which is great itself.
I mean, we talk about 4-hour or 4-day work weeks and things like that. I mean, it feels like this kind of lends itself more. We were talking about, maybe it was Mary or somebody earlier who has a specific task, maybe it's accounts or bookkeeping or admin or whatever it is, and sits working away at that. If we can help Mary buy back her time, we're not replacing Mary. We're giving her potentially an extra day out of the week that's a non-work day down the line, because the business is more profitable. We're more efficient.
Everybody's happy. And at the end of the day, the business is growing and Mary did an amazing job. Well, maybe you should give her a little bit more money. Like it depends on what the business owners are going to do. It's like, maybe they just want time back, but that aspect of the business is something that we really want to help more people do, because we just believe that people basically work to live. Yeah. Live to work, sorry. Which is like, we want to be able to give them time back with like their families, their friends, like hobbies, and be able to do that. And like, I was helping my sister last night. She got into a crunch on some things, and one simple prompt in the task that she was supposed to do is like, okay, Devin, because we follow my sister's name's Devin, but we follow so I explained the DNA value journey. And like, then each one of those things that we follow a DNA framework. So it's like, what data in, what data out? And that was the proposal. Take transcription, reference it, and then we'll create another proposal. If you can define that, what information in, what information out, that's important. Who owns it? Nurture. Who owns the seat? Who's going to be the quality assurance? Once you have those 2 things, then you set up AI. DNA. Follow that over and over. So with her, she had to do some tasks for a project that she needed to get in late last night. It was a last minute thing. So I sat with her and it's like, walking her through it, who's like, she hasn't done a ton of AI before. It's like, what needs to be collected? Okay, I need this information. It's like, what do you want it to come up with? This is what I need. It's like, okay, here's how you prompt it. You are an expert in this. Yeah. Take the information that I'm providing you and give me this information with this reference. Enter. 80% of the way done. She saved herself 3 hours and she had it submitted by before she needed to. That's it.
Yeah. In some way, it's really, I guess, just whoever you are thinking about AI as kind of your sidekick to start with, as the starting point. Your primary goal is just really to get comfortable with it, to educate it, and to get it to sort of, I guess, build up some knowledge around you and your business. That's the key thing to start with.
Correct. And like the other aspect of it, what we try and help people with, it's like the overwhelm of like the words in English, like what's prompting? Yeah. Huge thing. Well, if you look at this, and it's not in all cases, but it paints a pretty good picture for it. So an SOP in a business, businesses that are truly successful, they typically have really good SOPs. SOPs are there to be able to teach the people to do their task. If this, do this. If that, do that. That's what they're there for. A prompt tells an automation or an agent or AI to do what they're supposed to do. So a SOP and a prompt are very, very similar in terms of context. They really are.
Yeah, I love that. That makes sense. Yeah.
Sure, there's nuances and stuff in there, and it's like prompting becomes a little bit more complicated in time. But AI is not going to, like an SOP actually may be more in depth than a prompt will be. And in time, you're going to be able to just like give it what you want it to do, and it will build the prompt for you. Before, it's like it's hard to do that with an SOP. So it's like what we suggest is like even if you're using ChatGPT, it's like, what do you want to do? I want to build website for my business. Okay, great. It's likely not going to be able to help you with it, but that's fine. Then you go into the next phase of it. It's going to ask you for information. Data in.
Yeah,
This is the
data in.
Data in. So you feed it that information. Great. Then you say, now that it's got the information, it says, build me a website. Here's information. The next thing, so it spits it out on the second one. Still not good. You got to work with it. Follow this framework. Like use headings here, something here. So now you've given it a reference point. Reference this, send it again. It's like, okay, great. It's like still not 100% perfect. Here's a perfect example of what I want it to look like. So now it's got your information. It's got what it's supposed to do. It's got the content, and then it's got the reference point. Then you continue. That will essentially create the prompt for you. Once you do that enough times, you're going to understand. It's like, okay, I've done this 10 times over this week. I'm going to take the information. I'm going to take what I wanted to do, the information, and then the reference points, and I'm going to create a prompt and then turn it into a project or an agent within the system. So I just have to ask it the first sentence again. Because what you actually do is that first sentence, I want to build a website. That's what you want to get back to in the end. So you start with that and then you build a whole prompt. Okay. Then you actually train the system on that prompt. So when you do it again, all you have to do is ask it that one liner sentence.
I want to build a website.
It has all the information already. It's already been trained. It's already been trained on it. So that's how you get it to a point where you're scaling yourself. You're scaling your own systems. But you had to train it on those things. So if you had all that information in one centralized spot, like we were saying, then the training process becomes easier. And if your whole team was doing that proactively together and training one system, you can all have access to it across the departments. Now you're proactively training your own AI. And that's where you truly leverage it at scale.
So one of the things that goes through my mind there is using ChatGPT and ChatGPT's kind of shared environment. But what that AI cloud, I guess, is what you're talking about. Where do we start with putting that AI cloud in? Is that something we're bringing a team like yours in, or what does that really mean to start centralizing everything?
So I mean, that's what we help businesses with. We help them. We help them set up their AI cloud. It's across. So you've got your sales department, marketing department, HR, like customer success, all the different departments. So like those have individual information, but it still needs to flow up into the overall database of everything so it can start passing around. That's the communication aspect between each department. And most of our businesses fail because I can't communicate properly with customer success as a human. So there was missing information. Like let's say onboarding somebody. He didn't have the right information. Customer was upset. So then he's no longer working with us. Like those things can be solved in time itself. So yes, we can help businesses. There's a lot of like you can use something like Airtable. Great.
I was just thinking Airtable.
Airtable is one. It's a great place to start. That's typically the only one that we'd recommend. I mean, Notion's good for storing information, but you're going to run into integration issues. You can build your own databases with like some of the technologies that are on the market itself. It's a little bit more open source, but again, you need somebody who can set these things up for you, and you need somebody in that seat. But at the lower level, Airtable is a good place to start. And then at the higher level, at the medium to higher level, it's like this is where somebody like us comes in. And then at your enterprise level, it's like you probably should look into having somebody really in your department who understands it, because you can get into a little bit more data security depending on the size of the company. And that's where you're doing stuff a little bit more internally.
Okay. So, but as a small sort of medium-sized business who's just dipping their toes in, Airtable, and then each individual's ChatGPT or whatever they're using is connected into that Airtable, and we're populating that Airtable with things like everything from vision values down to sort of SOPs.
You essentially can. It's like there's nuances to it. I'm speaking pretty high level. It's like there's going to be some nitty gritty stuff in there. There's going to be some setup process, but it's a really good place to start. I mean, we don't use it because we just use our own. So it's like that things could have changed over the last 6 months. Again, it's AI. 6 months is like 6 years nowadays. Yeah. But we do know that a lot of people who are kind of getting started out, more of the small businesses, that's a good place to start. But at the end of the day, it's like it more defines mindset and what your goals are, because if you start with Airtable, it's going to get to a point where you're going to be capped, and then you have to move to that next level. And that next level again, it's like if you don't set it up properly in the beginning, it could be like 3 steps back to move forward again.
And where are you seeing AI having, well, the work that you're doing having the most impact in businesses at the moment? In
terms of use cases?
Yeah, I'm just thinking like, I guess I'm thinking like onboarding and sales.
Writing copy, like emails, websites, all these things, like anything text it's really good at. Proposals, client onboarding. So like really good example is like when people come through, here's a really good example. People come through a funnel, whether it's again a product or service, first name, last name, email, business information. So it's like you can have AI go out, scrape their website, pull it all in, and you can build a business profile. That business profile could be put in front of the salesperson, how we can help them. Then you can do objection handling live on the call with AI, because you've got the AI's trained on their business while you've got the transcription and you've got the framework that for a salesperson to follow. Once the salesperson closes it, then it can be passed to customer success, and all that information from the beginning of time is passed through the business profile as well. So now customer success has an up on what they want to do, their goals or objectives, all these things. So this is at that point of sale that I was talking about in the beginning.
Yeah.
That's actually you telling AI that it got it right. So it's like you're training your own system to be like an evergreen learning system, because you need to, like, AI is like you see on ChatGPT, thumbs up, thumbs down. But that point of sale is the best thumbs up ever because they've purchased from you. And if they continue to purchase from you, that's another thumbs up. So that means you're training AI to keep doing that or targeting people like that.
So when it understands that journey that the customer's going on from beginning to end, as it sees what's working better and better in terms of closing a deal, it's going to help you to improve that.
Correct. So it's like,
and accelerate your deal cycle.
Exactly, your deal cycle. So your value journey actually compresses. So it's like then your time to value compresses. Then it's like if they purchase again, why did they purchase again? Because we believe that your ICP or your avatar changes dynamically. It can change in seasons. It can change in like times of the year. Like there's offerings. Like there's so many things. So it's like if AI knows about it, it'll predict it for you. And then, because then as the technologies progress, it'll be able to do avatars. It'll be able to create content better. So now it goes top of funnel and starts attacking more of those people. And then when paid advertising becomes completely automated, then it will start doing your paid advertising for you. Because we believe that businesses businesses run Facebook advertising, it's an auction system. You spend money. Yeah. It's like then you got to auction for it, and then basically if the person converts and purchases, this is how much it costs me for them to buy the product. We believe in time it's going to be on a token system. So AI runs on tokens. How many tokens did it cost me to convert a customer from the time that they saw my business? Because if your whole funnel, your whole value journey is AI, or as much of it's AI, how many tokens did it cost you to not only convert but to deliver? And how do you optimize token usage? People are going to be optimizing token usage, not necessarily dollars spent.
So how do we tie that back? I mean, for the sort of lay business owner, this idea of tokens, and how's that going to work in their business? How are they thinking about this?
Don't think about it. Just focus on your task in front of you. I know I might have got carried I mean, you can see that's the passion behind where we see the market's going. Don't focus on that. Just focus on the task in front of you. What information do I need to give AI to be able to get the information out? And do I need to reference something? who is going to be the quality assurance, who's going to nurture it, D for data, N for nurture, and then you start setting up AI for that. That's where we want people to start, because that's how you're going to get people to adopt it. Because if I can give somebody 5% lift here, 10% lift there, 20% lift there, the whole business starts uplifting together.
So let's just go back to that DNA acronym.
Yeah.
D is for data. Get your data, start getting your data in. What about the security concerns that people have about data at the moment? And
so that is a big thing. Is like a lot of people are just uploading like data into ChatGPT. It's like, that's public knowledge.
yeah,
It's like, is the businesses, in terms of fear, like if you upload some private information into ChatGPT, technically it's trained on it. And again, like, speak to your lawyers about it. I'm not dealing with that stuff. No. But the odds of some like that stuff coming out is very, very slim. If you're into like the healthcare and all like financial and stuff like that, I'd be a little bit more cautious. But at the end of the day, it's going to be extremely tough for somebody to be able to pull that information in. In terms of like where these databases and stuff are stored, almost all of them have the data protection already, because AI is data. So these companies have thought about it for years already. They really have. But it's like, if you set up your own database, protected, great. Your own AI cloud, that's fantastic. And then when you use, on the technical side, you plug in through APIs to these LLMs, like the ChatGPTs, the OpenAIs and stuff like that, it doesn't train on your information. So you don't have to worry about training your private information on it.
Okay. So get the data in, nurture it. What's that A for?
That's when you set up AI. So we always recommend businesses do things manually a couple times before you start like turning it into like an agent or an automated task doer, because you have to know what data in, know what data out. Then you need to know that like the person who is nurturing it, they need to continue to approve that it's right. That's the training piece. And then as you continue to do that, the AI is going to continue to automate more and more. It's going to be able to do more and more, whether it starts at 10% and then you move it up to 80% or 90%. But that last 10 to 20% is the hardest. It really is. It takes so much time and tweaking, and especially if you're not 100% sure on how to do it all, but it's just a matter of continuing to work with it.
Okay. And I mean, just going right back to the beginning, we talked about running your team on AI. That's kind of where ultimately are trying to get to, right? Just to get the whole team running on AI as a team, as an overall team in the business.
Yep. So it's like, for us, it's like, don't necessarily look at the shiny objects. Just focus on, if you wrote down every single task that you needed to do every single day, what are they to accomplish a goal? Because like, you wake up, it's like, I've got a goal for today. And to accomplish that goal, I have to do these tasks. And to do these tasks, I have to do these things. Just go to ChatGPT and just ask it, I need help with this task. And then it will ask you for the information, and then it's going to spit out a response. You're not going to be happy with it. Then you work with it. And as you continue to do that, it will get better at it. And then once you have a reference point, then it will get even smarter. And then after a period of time, that task is now automated. Because the other aspect is like, once you do it, it's like, and this is what I mentioned to you before we started, is like turning your team into the IP or the DNA of your business, because your business has business DNA. Then everybody in the seat is their own DNA that makes up the business DNA. Let's say somebody, in a jokingly way, we say hit by a bus syndrome. So it's like somebody in your company gets hit by a bus who's an expert, but you haven't trained their system on how they do the work. It's like, well, then you've got to find somebody at that highest quality in a shorter period of time. Unless if you trained AI on them, on the people, the information that they use, and the process, how they do it, the markets you're actually going to be able to go after not as experienced people to be able to do the same job, because AI knows that. So you're going to be able to scale with talent relatively quickly, because the training behind AI is one of the biggest things that we're seeing as an uplift in a business. Being able to train people within your company.
And using AI to be able to do that much more effectively in the onboarding process.
Correct. Onboarding's huge.
Yeah. So we need to be thinking about this as business owners. It's not just about how we can, potentially people losing jobs and how we can work faster and get time back, but it's also how when we bring people on, we're actually in a position to accelerate the onboarding process because we've trained AI to help coach and train our people.
Because it had the expert in the seat, so it's like call it like a director or a head, whatever, manager, doesn't really matter. And then it's learned the information that it needs because it's been taught that, and then it understands the processes on how to do it. So if somebody comes in, all they're doing is more quality assurance. That's all they're doing.
Yeah. Cool. Brilliant. I'm curious, Jeff, like we started off talking about the mission that you guys are on. What does freedom mean to you? I know we talked about entrepreneurial freedom at the beginning, but what does that mean to you?
I mean, it's tough because it's one of those things. It's like I'm going to work till the day I die.
You love what you do, right?
I love it. You could probably see, feel, hear the passion behind what we're building. Like we truly believe in what we're doing and the mission that we've set out to accomplish. I mean, freedom to me is like I'm very close with my family. It's like, I mean, I don't have a family of my own yet, but you want to be the best father, husband, son, brother in my case that I can be. As like a freedom to me is not only freedom for myself, but it's freedom for my family.
Love it. Yeah. And I think we've come out of this environment where we've been hustling and hacking for years and years. And I think that's where that venture cap and startup mentality drove us in that direction. What AI is really doing is giving us time back and helping us to find some of that freedom we're looking for.
100%.
And that's probably the biggest message we should take away from the conversation together today is you got to do some work. Don't be scared of what's going on here. I mean, you're not scared of losing your job and you work with AI all the time.
But the thing is, like, I'm trying to train it so I can get out of it. Like that's the point of it. If you could do the same thing,
right?
That's the point. It's like somebody else is going to be able to come in and do more things. But it's like if somebody comes in and does what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, that's great. I can go focus on something else. Because as entrepreneurs, like, are you just going to stop and do nothing? No. So you're not. You're going to focus on something else. And like, what's the next big challenge? What's the next big puzzle that we want to solve?
And so AI is going to help you to go there. What's the next big puzzle I'm going to solve? Love it. Yeah.
That's
brilliant.
It. So yeah, freedom is a big one. And it's like, if I can help you increase profits and make your business more valuable while doing it, I mean, that's a bonus.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you coming on today. I hope that the audience gets something out of your wisdom. We'll put everything into the show notes. I think you've sent me some stuff, but whatever you feel is relevant, we'll get into the show notes. But thank you so much for giving us some of your time today, Jeff.
Absolutely. No, it was good. Love talking about it, and appreciate you having me.
All right, that's it for this week. If you're still on the fence about AI, rewind the episode and listen again. Jeff's message is really simple. AI isn't here to replace your team. It's here to raise the floor, not kind of the ceiling. And you want to start small. You want to train it like it's an intern. You want to document your processes, and you don't want to chase shiny tools. Focus on turning your team's knowledge into scalable systems. So big thanks to Jeff for sharing his time and energy and for reminding us that the real power of AI isn't about automation. It's about reclaiming freedom to work less, to create more, and to make space where you can do what matters. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe wherever you watch or listen. It really helps us to reach more business owners like you, the ones building for freedom and not just for scale. So appreciate you. Catch you next time on the Freedom Experience.